All right, guys, welcome back to episode 7 of the Laydown podcast. I am, as always, joined by Lenny B. Of course, I'm decked out in my Peyton Manning Broncos gear, so it looks like I'm a Broncos fan and Lenny's a Raiders fan, but that is not the case
Well, I
because
am a Raiders fan, but yes.
I live approximately 22 hours from Denver, Colorado, so no.
That is a long time. I don't think you could drive there.
Lenny is he's a bigger, I'd say he's a bigger Raider fan than Niner fan, but
Whoa, that's not true.
who
That's
do you
not
support more?
Dude, it's 50-50. I tell you guys all the time. It's always 50-50. I'm never going to not change my answer, bro. I like both teams half and half.
But you said you said the Raiders deserve to win a Super Bowl more.
They do because they've been through so much stuff. It's true. It's just they've been through all this stuff. Okay, the Niners have been to 5 NFC Championship games in the last 15, 17 years or something like that.
The Niners are either awful or they're really good.
The reason I'm so passionate about the Raiders right now is because they've been terrible for so long and they finally breaking through. You know what I mean? It feels like it's finally maybe we'll do something, you know? But the reason I'm so not Niners is because I expect this from them. I expect them to be good. You know what I mean?
So that's why you're not as high on Shanahan as you are Versace. You're not as high as Garoppolo. You're not as high on Garoppolo as you are Derek Carr. Nothing like that.
Yeah, the Raiders were the Niners. Most people thought were going to be a really good team this year, and I was yeah, they'll probably be pretty.
People thought the Raiders would be terrible.
I know. Everyone thought. I thought the Raiders were really terrible. And here we are in a playoff game where we lost by only one play, by the way. One play away from tying the game to the Super Bowl attendee Bengals. I mean, it's just a lot more to be happy about. The Niners up until the NFC Championship game, or I would even argue the divisional game, were very disappointing. I thought they were disappointing until the Cowboys game.
Yeah, Shanahan was actually not having a good year until
I thought they were going to be the second seed, bro. I thought they were going to be really good.
I had them. I forget who I had win. I either had them in the NFC Championship or in the divisional round. I don't remember if I remember I had there were 4 teams for me before the year, and I think it kind of played out. I was Packers, Bucks, Rams, and Niners would be the top of the NFC.
I mean, it seemed like that was right. I don't think you like the Cowboys that much. I don't think they count. They're probably not in the top 4, but
I think that was the top 4 teams. But yeah, we are in Super Bowl weekend. Super Bowl is Sunday. Of course, Lenny's teams have won 8. My Falcons have never won a Super Bowl, even though we should have won at least 1.
Oh no, 28-3. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, we can talk about 20-10 and what's the other one that happened? The other 10-point lead that we blew last week. 7-17, was it?
I don't remember. No, I think we should talk about Joe Burrow and Matt Stafford, the Bengals and the Rams. Stafford. Feels like, Lenny, I'm just going to say this. With Tom Brady now retired, everybody is on this Joe Burrow is amazing train, right?
Joe Burrow is amazing, though. That shouldn't be a thing that people it shouldn't be a negative.
Okay, good job, Lenny. I've changed you. You used to be against this, but people are on the Joe Burrow is the new Tom Brady thing.
I think that's stupid. I just think
I agree.
You have to temper expectations a little bit. He's been to 1 Super Bowl, guys. Guys, chill. He won 10 games this year, guys.
He's not even played a full 17-game season yet.
He didn't he's played really good this year, but
Are we?
Okay.
I'm gonna ask this question. I love Joe Burrow. I have his jersey, and I'm gonna wear it. I'm probably gonna wear it win or lose next Sunday when we recap the game. But are we sure? Are we 100% sure Joe Burrow's better than Patrick Mahomes? Are we 100% sure of this?
No, I'm not. I don't. Okay, so I talked to you about this earlier. It wasn't on the stream or whatever, but I was Joe Burrow could be better than Patrick Mahomes. I put it on the list. I was kind of late. I thought about it for a while, and I'm you know what? That's kind of stupid, actually. He didn't really play that as good as everyone's saying he was this year.
Are we 100% sure he's better than Josh Allen?
Heck no. No way. I think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in football. I think Patrick Mahomes is.
Are we 100% sure he's better than Aaron Rodgers?
I think Aaron Rodgers has a debate because of the fact of just playoff like performance. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, Rodgers.
Just Aaron Rodgers hasn't played like this. Really, except for like 2000. Like what was when he won the Super Bowl? 2010, 2012.
2010 was when he won. Wait, so he won the Super Bowl in 2010.
He didn't even like really play that. Okay, my point is like in the playoffs, Joe Burrow showed up. That's what I'm trying to say. And we haven't really seen that from Aaron Rodgers in 11 years or whatever. And that would be the one argument I would say, because he's not more talented. I wouldn't say he's a better decision maker. He probably pulls the trigger on some of those throws a lot more than Aaron Rodgers does. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be
he's
like
more willing to take risks at this point.
I think that's about it on like his advantages, though, right?
I know, but like what I'm trying to say is, are we 100% like? Because people are painting him as the next Brady, and when I think of Brady, I think of by far the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm not even sure if Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in his conference. So, and I love Joe Burrow, by the way. I'm just think we're going a little bit too far to the other way. You know,
this happens with Super
things
Bowl
go one way. Like a couple of things go one way against the Titans. This conversation does never happens,
Dude,
right?
It's such a sexy pick, though. You know what I mean? To say Joe Burrow is going to be amazing.
But nobody was talking. Lenny, literally nobody was talking about this guy until like a month and a half ago.
I know. I told you that.
Remember at the end of the regular season when I was like, Joe Burrow has kind of crept up in that MVP race, and then he's like, no, he wasn't even that good the first like 14
He wasn't, though.
But that's okay. So I think his first 14 games have been underrated. But
no, that wasn't my point.
My problem with my
MVP,
problem,
you have to play good the entire season.
But my problem with so Aaron Rodgers and Brady were both more. They were more consistent.
Oh, good. I don't. No. Yes. I mean, yes. Yeah.
I think it's too early to say he's the best quarterback in the league. If he throws 4 touchdowns this Sunday, then sure, you can give it.
Win a Super Bowl first, then we'll start comparing you to like Brett Favre.
Well, no, because there have been years where the best like Peyton Manning was the best quarterback for several years.
You know my point though. Like,
I know.
He hasn't done anything.
It's too early to say he's the next Brady.
I mean, it's impressive that he's made a Super Bowl. Like, period, though. Like, I mean, yeah, that's very impressive.
Obviously, it's impressive to get to the Super Bowl in any sense.
Yeah, yes.
I think though there has not been enough topic of conversation with Matt Stafford.
I definitely agree on that. I definitely agree. It's not even like that people have an argument that Stafford isn't that good, because there is an argument to say that Stafford has been not carried. I wouldn't say carried. Carried is way too much to say, but he's been elevated a lot by his career. But it's not even like people say that. It's like they say the stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's not clutch, or like, oh, he can't.
Did they watch the Tampa Bay game?
I mean, I think that's stupid. I think it's
the guy can literally say, "Yeah, I retired Tom Brady right here."
I mean, like literally the only person in the world out of 7 billion to ever say that ever. I guess the Rams players could say that. Sean McVay
the Rams players could say that, but the quarterback is gonna get remembered for that. He beat the Niners. He came back in that game too.
I don't understand how people can love Joe Burrow and just like be a
Joe Burrow. I think Matt Stafford has been better in the playoffs than Joe Burrow has been.
I would definitely agree. I don't think
this is a hot take either.
I don't know if he was been more impressive.
He's not been more impressive. Burrow's a better player.
By like a pure like performance stand-wise, yes. He's been better. I don't think it's really that much of an argument.
I think Matt Stafford's seasons kind of reminded me of Matt Ryan's like a couple years ago with
2016.
Like his performance this year has been so far above like any of his other seasons. People are so reluctant to say, "Oh, he's really good," but like at a certain point, you just got to give it up, right? Like he's thrown.
What I think about Stafford is that he's a really good quarterback. That isn't like, I don't think he's elite. Like like he's gonna change a game by himself.
The very top of the second.
It's like he's really good, but he has problems, and it's hard to find a lot of problems with the really, really elite guys like Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like I know there's only one Tom Brady, but that's my point. Like he's not
Or
like,
it's
but he's
he
really
doesn't
good.
he has more flaws than like a Josh Allen or a
Exactly.
Mahomes.
That's what I'm trying to say. And
But
even though he's amazing, he's still really good.
I think if you put Stafford on a team as talented as this, like we saw him with Matt Ryan in 2016 in that system, then yeah, they can be like performance-wise best quarterback in the league caliber.
Yeah, I agree. He
Um,
definitely has moments where he's
but
just like,
I just don't think he's been getting enough talk, like in general, about like how he was stuck in Detroit for 12 years.
I think people are like, they don't
And
want to change their mind. I think
like,
it's like
come on,
10
move
years.
off your. I was not. I'm gonna be honest. I was never a huge Matt Stafford guy. I did have him rated higher entering the year than most did, but still, I've never fully bought into him. But like, I've obviously been proven wrong since. You guys have to like start taking back like some of the stuff you say at some point. You can't double down
Yeah.
on stuff.
I think there's aspects to the Stafford argument that are true. Like, his record against playoff performance of quarterback, like it's context. It's context that you
His
need to
record
have.
against
You
playoff
can't
quarterbacks is
so
still
like you
bad.
can't just look at the playoff record, right? And just be like, oh wow, like that's really bad. No, he played like the Legion of Boom, didn't he? Didn't he play the Legion of
So
Boom
he
one year?
lost to Drew Brees, who had his best ever season outside of maybe '09 in 2011. That was the Saints team that lost to the Niners in that crazy divisional game.
Oh yeah, bro. That was
He
crazy.
lost to the Cowboys in
Vernon Davis.
2014, who had like Tony Romo in his best ever year. DeMarco Murray
And he
was
lost
the
to the Legion
rushing
of Boom.
champion. They had like
I
the
mean,
best. Des Bryant was like a top 3 receiver. They had the best offensive line in the league.
Dez.
They had like all these stacked teams that were on the road. They probably could have won that game too. There was a really bad call that went against the Lions that, if that had not been called, then the Lions probably win the
I
game.
I have a new syndrome. I'm gonna like this is my. I'm just gonna name this. Okay. For like, there's like a set of like really good quarterbacks with like really bad situations, and like people put the result like how much they win and how their stats look like.
Quarterback syndrome.
No, it's not quarterback syndrome. It's Derek Carr syndrome.
Derek Carr
I think
syndrome.
I'm calling it Derek Carr syndrome because I see it all the time. So like as a fan, as a Raiders fan, I see Derek Carr do like everything,
You
and
know
then
what
when
annoys me,
he game,
Lenny?
everyone hates him. It's
It's
the
when
same thing with Matt Ryan.
it's
It's the
no,
same
but
thing
it's
with
when
Kirk
I see
Cousins.
it's
I
when I
mean,
see it's when I see people like and it's not even people. It's just when I see Derek Carr and Matt Ryan go out earlier than Jimmy Garoppolo does. Or like remember that year where Blake Bortles and Case Keenum made the NFC were making
yes,
like championship games while Drew Brees and like Ben Roethlisberger weren't. It's so frustrating to see like all these bums at quarterback get far in the
yeah.
playoffs whereas the elite guys are stuck at home
This
watching.
isn't the NBA. One player isn't going to change
Yeah,
the entire team. I mean, it's just is what it is. Unless your team's also like already really good or good enough, like a great player isn't going to change a lot. You know,
correct.
you saw that with Stafford. I think there's a handful of quarterbacks in the NFL not in great situations right now that most people think would be average or just like not great. That would probably be similar to a Stafford type situation if they were to go to a good team. I think there are a handful.
But do you think the Stafford story has been under talked about?
Yes, I do. I don't care that his team is really good. I don't care that his offensive coordinator is really good. I don't care that he's put in position to do this. There's not a lot of people. I mean, just to do it, just the fact that you did it. I mean, like in the way that he's done it. It's
It's
like,
on your resume.
yeah, exactly. It's like you're going to the Super Bowl and you spent all this time not doing anything. And I mean not doing anything in Detroit, not complaining whatsoever, just putting your hat down and just going to work every day knowing that you had to carry your team every day. And finally, the one time he gets out of Detroit, the 1 year he goes to the Super Bowl. I mean, like, I don't care what the context is. That's enough context to just be like, good job, Matthew Stafford. You did it. You know what I mean?
And he has been statistically the best clutch quarterback, the most clutch quarterback in the league this season. And
I'm not surprised. He's always been good in
he
the fourth quarter.
he has been, especially when it comes to making comebacks and game winning drives. And He had, I think, 8 in a single season one year. I think it's 2016.
8 in a season?
Yeah, like half the game. Like it felt like every one of their wins were like come from behind, last second draw from Stafford. I will say this: this is an underrated storyline that not a lot of people are talking about here, and I say this because I've experienced this as a fan.
Okay, let's go.
So remember in what happened in Super Bowl 51, Kyle Shanahan. You know what happened with the play calls and all that. But he had already taken the Niners job by the time Super Bowl 51 had kicked off.
Did he really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he had already been hired as the coach.
All right.
Kevin O'Connell was hired by the Vikings this week, and he is calling plays for the Rams. He's their offensive coordinator.
Oh, he's calling plays? I didn't even know that. I thought something.
Yeah, so McVay obviously calls the plays, but he has heavy influence.
Minnesota
hired him, right?
Yeah.
But that is is Kevin O'Connell's mind fully on the Super Bowl, or is Kevin O'Connell you know what? This doesn't. I already got the job. They're not gonna fire me.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
My path forward is clear. I don't really have anything left with the Rams. So what? Because Shanahan was he was the best coordinator. It was one of the better coordinator seasons I've ever seen. And like the dumb decisions to pass the ball on like 3rd and 1.
He's like, screw it, I'm going to San Francisco. Let's see what happens.
Well, it's 2nd and 9, like in the taking sack. It was a bad game plan. I hope for Rams fans' sake, Kevin O'Connell doesn't do a similar thing. I do think that's an interesting storyline, though.
That is interesting. It's a mental thing. There's not been a lot of coordinators in this position. You know what I mean? There's only probably like a handful that have done this. I mean, like, I don't know from the top of my head, but we know Shanahan now, and we know Kevin O'Connell. We've seen it one time. It is pretty interesting because there's no sense of job security, right? There's no like I don't know if that's what it is because we don't have we have a small sample size, but like I don't know. There's no sense of job security because you're gonna get the job anyway. There's no like pressure from a job standpoint. Like it's like I'm gonna get a shot to run it my way, and I know I'm gonna do a good job there. So like who cares? Like that would be something maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I just find that a bit interesting because it's similar kind of situations. I think so. We're gonna start getting to the game preview. Go check out Mitch's Patreon. We did BLV versus Consensus on there. Lenny spent half the time talking about penguin and giraffe.
Penguins, bro.
Go take us through that story.
Okay, so my dad, this year we started this thing where we just started betting on like each individual game we were gonna do. So like if the Raiders like week 1 they were playing Baltimore, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to pick the Raiders to win this week. And then my brother would be like, hey, I'm going to pick this team to win this week. And then we just tallied it up, right? My dad, week 1, I don't remember who the Bengals played. Let me see who the Bengals played. It was some, like, really hard team, I think.
The Vikings, right?
Was it the Vikings? Let me see.
Minnesota, because I remember the bitch had, like, a whole rant about how the
Vikings that's right. I thought the Vikings were going to be really good this year because I didn't think freaking –
because we were idiots and we trusted Minnesota.
I didn't think Mike Zimmer was going to be terrible. But the point is, I was telling my dad, like, dude, what are you doing picking the Bengals? This is terrible. Like, they suck. Like, the Bengals are terrible. They're not going to win more than 4 games or whatever. And then my dad's just like, this giraffe died. They named the giraffe after the draft, Joe Burrow in Ohio. And he died. And he was in the zoo. The Bengals are going to go on a run. They're going to be amazing. And I'm like, okay, fine, Dad. And then they win that game. And I'm like, okay, that's stupid. I hate you. Like that worked, but like whatever. And then he just kept picking the Bengals to win these absurd games. He picked against the Chiefs. He legitimately picked the Bengals to win against the Chiefs. And he just looked at me. He's like, it's the draft, man. I mean, come on. Like, it's the draft, and then they won the game anyway. So basically, now they have the petting zoo, or not a petting zoo, but they have a zoo, right? It's the Northwest something zoo, and they got a bunch of penguins.
Like the Ohio, was it in Ohio, right?
Yes, it's in Ohio, and they got a bunch of penguins to vote on who was going to win the Super Bowl, and they picked the Bengals. So there's no chance that the Bengals don't win the Super Bowl, right? There's no way.
Yeah. So let's get into the kind of previewing the game. I'm not. Let's not even go through the offensive line, defensive line matchup because that's all anyone's talking about.
Real quick, the freaking Bengals lost to the Bears 17-20.
Yes.
Week 2. I don't even remember that. Okay, whatever. We'll just keep.
Lenny, I'm sorry. Like the early season NFL games, now that there's like an extra week, feels like it was from 10 years ago.
Yeah,
it feels like Peyton was still playing.
I don't even remember that. All right, yeah.
Like the Bengals lost to the Jets.
Oh my god, I remember that. That was
the Bengals beat the Jags by 3 points.
Wow, I mean, this Bengals team is the real deal, right? And like, I mean, I bet they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year.
And then they beat the Raiders by 3 touchdowns.
What are you talking about? All right, yeah. Let's get in the preview.
Yeah, so let's not even go. Like we know, the Bengals offensive line is not equipped to one-on-one block.
We do know.
So Aaron Donald and Von Miller. I'm actually interested in this. So Von Miller and Aaron Donald, like if I combine their resumes, what if they accomplished? I'd be interested.
They don't have the same amount of defensive player of the years because Aaron Donald has Von Miller doesn't have any because Aaron Donald stole all of them basically. Their Pro Bowls would be insane, right? They're all pros. And
so Aaron Donald and Von Miller have combined for 16 Pro Bowls.
Oh my god!
They've combined for 10 first team All Pros. They've won a Super Bowl. Both of them were on the 2010s All Decade team.
Oh my god!
They've combined for 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Oh my god! I mean, that's just Aaron Donald, but still, I think
2 Defensive Rookie of the Year awards.
Oh jeez, they were both the best rookie in their draft class. That's crazy.
And a Super Bowl MVP.
Man, that's ridiculous.
They have combined for
10 All-Pros.
213 and a half sacks.
213. Wow, that is
so.
It's like
Bengals have to block these guys, and I know Von Miller is kind of out of his prime, but he's still like been amazing down the stretch.
He's been. I don't care what you say about like he's out of his prime. He is playing like he's in his prime right now.
Yeah, he's looking like 2015 Von Miller.
He looks amazing. He's been amazing for.
So they can't. I don't even think they can block Leonard Floyd or Greg Gaines at this point.
They're gonna have one-on-one looks.
So Zach Taylor obviously is gonna have to. They're gonna have to use the yards after catch game, the screen game, do a lot of that. I think it'd be interesting actually to look up who's thrown the most screen passes in the league. I'd
assume the Niners, but I don't know. I think the Rams are pretty up there because they have a lot of playmakers. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked into this at all, but
or just short passing in general. But Lenny, you can go.
All right. When I look at the Bengals in this matchup right here, they definitely need to take advantage of the aggressiveness on this defensive line. Like they're going into this game like we're gonna destroy you. Like I guarantee that in the like locker room, they're like we're gonna like the front seven is gonna mess you up. Like we're gonna dominate and. That aggressiveness, obviously, that's what the screen pass was made for. It was literally exactly made to counter it. And I think that is an angle where they can get offensive production because Ja'Marr Chase, dude, with the ball, oh my God. Like, he's similar to like Deebo Samuel to where he'll just find something. You know what I mean? And when you do that enough times, it just amounts to so much like yards. I don't know. It just amounts to so much production that it's really valuable to have. They have Joe Mixon, too, at the backfield. They can use him creatively. T. Higgins is solid like that. Tyler Boyd, I wouldn't say is great at it, but he's good enough. But they have the talent around them to get the ball into their hands. Zach Taylor is going to have to come out with a really good game plan here. If they do not come out with a good game plan against this D-line, I don't think they have a chance. I legitimately don't think they have a chance. There's, like, on offense at least. I mean, their defense is going to have to play like the 2015 Denver Broncos for them to win this game if they come out with a bad game plan on offense, I think.
Okay, so the good thing is Joe Burrow was tied with Ben Roethlisberger and Justin Herbert for the most percentage of their attempts being screen passes. So they do like
hear that, dude. Like who's saying that like Joe Burrow like throws screen passes? But like okay, all right, keep going. Whatever you're saying.
Because he throws the ball downfield too. That's
I know, but like it's a media thing.
Tom Brady, by the way, is 23rd of 27
Josh McDaniels is crying right now. But
But by the way, Tua Tagovailoa up there at 8. But
wow.
But yeah, they're gonna have to utilize the screen game. I think use the yards after catch game. The Rams are not good at defending yards after catch. I think they're like 30. They're down there in terms of that. If I look at the Bengals, they're gonna need Ja'Marr Chase can get after the catch. Higgins, I don't know, but Chase is, I think, gonna have to be that guy that they use along with Mixon.
I
think if I'm the Rams, I think that offense for the Rams can really like make some stuff difficult on Cincinnati to be nice. Like, Jesus.
I don't even know what happened, but that's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
I hate my life, but I'm cutting this out. But okay, no, cut it out, it's fine. Okay. I'm looking through it. So the Bengals.
Right, start. Okay, go.
So the Bengals in yards after catch they're actually up there. They're 12th in the league. So that's actually pretty decent.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
So they're going to have to use that. I think the Rams offense, I don't see the Bengals getting much of a pass rush. I think the problem for the problem for them is like their one guy is Hendrickson, and like the Rams have Aaron Donald. So, or not Aaron Donald, Andrew
Donald playing a line.
You've cursed me with that one thing where you're talking about the Steelers and Chiefs.
Yes.
But yeah.
I think it was the Cardinals-Rams game, actually.
Something like that, yeah.
It was Cardinals-Rams. But
Andrew Whitworth, the Arizona Cardinal. But I do think the Rams offense can have a day. But as we said on Beal Beavers Consensus, like the Rams are in an awkward position if they're leading. Because they tend to get conservative, and that can go in favor of the Bengals because they have Joe Burrow. So...
True. I do think that the Bengals D-line is in a weird position here because we talked about this on the consensus episode, but they can't run heavy sets. They don't have a lot of tight ends right now. They just don't. And I think that's an aspect that they can try to take advantage of. There's not a lot to take advantage of just because they don't really have the personnel, in my opinion, to take advantage of it. But it's something that you can look at and be like, okay, we can try to scheme around these, the double teams at the line of scrimmage, like whatever. We can do something with that. But
right,
their O-line is just too fundamentally good, and Stafford is just too good at getting the ball out when he needs to for the Bengals to get any sort of consistent, like real pressure. Like I don't know, like the Tom Brady game or the Rams and Bucks game, like when Tom Brady was getting harassed, like
the Titans-Bengals game.
Or the Titans-Bengals game. Yeah, I think Stafford's going to have clean pockets for the majority of this game. I think he's going to be able to sling it when he needs to be. He'll have time in the pocket probably.
The one thing I will say is I do think Stafford may put it in the air, like that Jaquiski Tart that should have been intercepted.
Don't remind me, please.
But, Tart still had a great game, to be fair, outside of that. So
yes, he did have a very good game in that game.
I do think the Bengals are going to have to, like, they can't afford stuff like that because the Niners are more talented than the Bengals are.
And, yes, that's true.
And yeah. So I do think it's an interesting matchup. I will say the two worst defenses against slot receivers are actually the Rams and the Rams are the worst, and the Bengals are the second worst. But that's worse for the Bengals that's worse for the Rams.
Worse for the Rams.
Cooper Kupp's gonna get worse for the Bengals. I don't know what I'm saying. It's worse for the Bengals because like Rams have Cooper Kupp, obviously, and I don't know. I just don't see anybody on this Bengals team that can stop him.
I kind of disagree on like how much it affects either, because Cooper Kupp's gonna get his money. He's going to be open a lot. Like regardless of who you put on him, I mean like I don't even care. You could put prime Darrelle Revis on there. He's getting like 50 yards regardless. I don't care. He's getting a touchdown for 50 yards.
I watched this game today. or it was in my recommended. Darrelle Revis they were playing. It was a Jets Colts game, 2010. Darrelle Revis held Reggie Wayne, who was a first team All Pro.
Reggie Wayne, he was snubbed this year.
He'll be a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
He held him to one catch for 1 yard.
What?
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. What was like a screen pass or something? Oh my god,
it was like some.
That is crazy. That is crazy. How many attempts did he have? But anyway, I think that it's a bigger mismatch for the Rams defense because they're going to be able to get production out of Tyler Boyd, which is just like going to open up a lot more things, I think, because they're going to have Jalen Ramsey on the outside receivers, either T. Higgins or Jamar Chase the majority of the game. That opens up everything underneath. And when they need to do these quick passing operations with this like lethal pass rush, they're going to need that underneath stuff. They're going to need it. And Tyler Boyd is really good at just getting underneath and just getting like 3 or 4 yards on like a quick like slant or quick whatever. And I think that's a plus for the Bengals more than the Rams, because I know the Rams are going to get production out of Cooper Kupp regardless of what the Bengals try to do.
One target, 1 catch, 1 yard, no touchdowns.
One target, dude. He probably looked at him like his first read like 10 times, like 20 times probably, and he just stopped looking. He's just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not even gonna look. Second read first.
I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to run the ball at all here, and I do think that's going to hurt them, because when you go into a Super Bowl with zero balance, like you just can't do anything. That's not a good thing because you're one-dimensional, and that just makes you less of a threat.
They've also prepared 2 weeks for your weaknesses as well.
I will say, I think the Bengals have been overrated, like offensively in these playoffs.
They scored 19 points against the Titans, right?
I look at it. So they were really good in the first half against the Raiders.
Yeah, they were good.
They only scored, I think, 9 points in the second, or they scored 6 points in the second half against the Raiders. So they kind of got, like, I know it didn't feel like they were getting stopped, but they did kind of get stopped in the game.
I think the Raiders defense did a good enough job. I think it played.
They scored 19 points. They weren't good offensively. They got a ton of short fields because of Tannehill's interceptions.
And remember that one freaking like thing that what was his name? I don't even remember the running back, the random running back. He put his foot out of bounds. Like,
I remember that. Yeah,
that was so stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm mad.
The Titans were like terribly.
Yeah, they did operate with a lot of good things. Like they did have a lot of good things go their way.
And then against the Chiefs, yeah, I thought the defense was the bigger story against the Chiefs, in my opinion. Like
they showed up when they needed to. They made the plays they needed to.
The offense showed up when they needed to, but the defense, like if the defense doesn't pick off Mahomes, then it doesn't matter what the offense had done, right?
They would have went 3 and out on that drive.
Just look at the Bills game.
Oh, that's true. I don't know. He went 0 for 3 though. I don't know. It's so hard to say. It's such a like arbitrary thing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But the point, I totally get what you mean though. They totally made Mahomes look like he made him look like 50-year-old Brett Favre out there, bro, just throwing it up.
I don't know, bro. I just feel like the Bengals offense that was really awesome late in the regular season it's not quite been that. I think the Rams have been the better offense in the postseason.
I think defense wins championships, baby. And I think that the Bengals defense has put Joe Burrow in a situation where he doesn't necessarily need to score like 1 million points like Josh Allen did. Because you see, especially in the playoffs, I'd say especially in the playoffs, when you don't have to score, when you aren't forced to score like 1 million points, it makes your job like 10 times easier. It's not it's not a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? All you need is like a couple touchdowns and you're good. Instead of like Josh Allen had to do like 10 million touchdowns and 10 million rushing and passing yards.
Right. No, I think it's a really interesting matchup. I think most people are picking the Rams. I do think there is some Bengals love here, though. I definitely feel that way.
Like
just based on Joe Burrow. Like everybody's on the Joe Burrow bandwagon, as both of us are as well.
It's not the NBA, bro. Not one player wins a game.
But one player doesn't win. Like one player cannot win it. When was the last time a player won or a team won because of one singular player. It just doesn't happen.
Joe Namath in like Super Bowl 2 or Super Bowl 3.
No, it was like 16-7 in the game.
I don't know. I just brought it up.
But yeah. All right, Lenny, what's your final prediction?
I think the Rams are gonna win this. I think it's gonna be a blowout, but I don't know because I originally came in, I was on BLV consensus and I was like, I think they're gonna blow them out. They match up way too well not to blow them out. This is too big.
Yeah, you opened with like this rant about how.
And then I kept hearing this, like these really good arguments, like just the Rams are just like super conservative in the second half, and they don't have enough. They don't have what's it called? They don't have heavy packages right now because they don't have any tight ends. They don't have Tyler Higbee. They choked against Tom Brady even when they did get a big lead. So I am of the belief that the Rams are going to get up big early. I think it's going to be like, oh man, here comes the Rams, like here to blow it, or like in the second half. I do think the second half it's going to be a little bit like, here we go. Like here's the Rams again trying to blow another lead, right?
Yeah.
But I think Stafford will clutch up and they'll win by I'll say 10 points.
So you think it's going to be a reasonably close game?
Yeah, I think by the end of the game, it'll be like, oh man, that could have went either way. Maybe it could have went either way. But I'll say 34-24. I think it's all right. 34-24.
Yeah, I can see that. For sure. I think it's a really tough game to call in terms of how the margin's going to be, because I do think there's a scenario where the Rams are beating the Bengals handily. But I also think there's a scenario where the Bengals kind of keep the game somewhat low scoring. And at that point, it may come down to who does make that final drive. And we've seen both quarterbacks do it. But if the Bengals do end up having the ball last down 3 or 4, then yeah, I mean they can. I don't. It's certainly not out of the.
Whoever gets the ball last, if it's within one possession, I think they are probably going to win that game. Right? You'd think?
Yeah, but I mean, both teams have shown that. Yeah, I agree with you. I think
in one possession, they got 2 minutes. Yeah.
I think when I just overall when I look at this, I just see too many advantages for the Rams here. I think the Rams are just significantly more talented than Cincinnati is. I think they're a better coached team, and I need to see Stafford play poorly in these big moments before I'm just gonna assume that he does it this year. I'm serious. He's got to show it to me that he's gonna do it. Because if Stafford plays like Tannehill in this game, then I don't think the Rams are gonna win. But how do we know Stafford is gonna play like Tannehill in this game?
There isn't an indicator where we can now. Yeah, it's not like, oh man, Stafford. It's not like Kirk Cousins primetime game. We know he's going to play bad. No, right. He's proven that he can play really good in the playoffs. I mean, he's proven he can play good against good talent when he has good talent. So right. As long as his other players are there, there's no reason to think Stafford won't play good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams. Can I get a score prediction from you, Lenny?
I said 34-24, didn't I?
All right, 34-24. That's a high-scoring game. I'm going to go 27-17. I'm going to say Matt Stafford wins the MVP. I think he is
Stafford.
I think this is going to be a great story for him. I think Mitch is going to be extra arrogant on the bottom line, but he deserves it. By the way, go check out Lenny and Mitch's video edited by Lenny about Matt Stafford and how Mitch was right about him all along.
Yes.
Very good video.
That video.
All right, Lenny, who's your Super Bowl MVP?
I mean, it's always going to go to the quarterback. I mean, unless Stafford just plays terrible and Cooper Kupp goes for
it would have to be Aaron Donald breaking some sort of record.
Or Sony Michel for some reason just goes off or something.
Yeah, there'd have to be I'm going to get, even if the Bengals score 14 points, Joe Burrow is winning the MVP award.
Yeah, no. Don't get it twisted. If the Bengals win this, there is zero chance that Joe Burrow will not get the Super Bowl MVP. That is if you're going to bet on that, if you really think the Bengals...
Bet on Joe Burrow if you think the Bengals are going to
bet on Joe Burrow getting Super Bowl MVP if you really think the Bengals are going to win this game for whatever reason. for the Rams, is there a possibility? I don't know.
There's more of a possibility because that Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald are just that good.
It's just like I don't understand how like Von Miller can get 2 Super Bowl MVPs. I think that's like ridiculous that if he did. I don't know if that's possible.
It would make him one of the best defensive players like of all time.
You'd think that, right? I mean, like right now we're already like, oh, he's amazing, like Hall of Famer already. Like he's probably top 10.
Of course, the Hall of Famer.
A top 10 edge rusher all time. You know what I mean, though? Like but then if he wins Super Bowl MVP after this amazing run, like is he Lawrence? Are we talking about him like Lawrence Taylor now? I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to see it. I don't know. I'll have to talk about it.
It's a really interesting conversation.
It is a very interesting conversation. Von Miller's been the best like player in the playoffs for defensively. No, probably the best player in the playoffs over the last like whatever years.
He was the best player in the playoffs in 2015.
Every year he's been in the playoffs, he's been amazing. So maybe like
2013.
Tom Brady and Von Miller, two best Super Bowl performers of the decade here. Huh.
Outside of Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, yes, Joe Flacco, the elite Joe Flacco,
and Eli Manning.
Oh no,
the Joe Flacco and Eli Manning runs are still just hilarious.
Eli, man,
back to back. All right, that's it for the Lay Down podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you Rams fans, I hope you Bengals fans, just enjoy the moment for now, because as a fan of a team that went to the Super Bowl, has not been back. You never know when you're going to get back, no matter how bright the future looks. Not everybody's the Patriots.
Yep, right there.
And just make sure you don't suffer an Edelman catch. With that being said, see you guys later. God bless.